video, we're going to talk about how to promote your mobile app with PPC, how to do this successfully and without going broke. So if you have a mobile app that you're trying to promote, get to be #1 mobile app in your niche, we'll say. There is a repeatable formula process that you can go through for that, but not to say that process is easy, but if you want to go ahead and put the time and work in and effort in to work the process, it'll work for you. What a lot of people will do when they try to decide how to get people to download their app so they can get, to grow it, get more users, whatever, one of the things they consider is running paid advertising to promote that app on Google, on Apple search ads, or in other places as well. What I'm going to tell you is that stuff really does work. However, there's some foundational stuff that you need to know in order to get it to work. And it's not necessarily the panacea that most people think it is, that they're going to turn on this PPC campaign for their mobile app and they're going to be rich afterwards and they're going to have all the users they need. And furthermore, the mobile in-app revenue that they are able to generate through their app is going to pay for the cost of the advertising, and they're going to be able to scale a campaign, pay for users pay through the app, that money goes into getting more users, and that is technically possible. It's just it's difficult, and there definitely needs to be a well-disciplined, refined game plan in place if you're actually going to do that. But no doubt, paid ads is the best way to grow your mobile app, particularly at the beginning, when you don't have any organic rankings on Google Play, the Apple Store, and because you obviously need mobile app reviews in order to get ranking. Well, how do you get reviews when you have no users? It's a catch-22, which is where paid ads actually come into the equation. And you can do it with a small budget, certainly, or whatever budget you can afford. And then with that small budget, you can build things up from there. So I'm going to talk about that in today's video here. And by the way, I have videos on running Google Ads, mobile app campaigns through Google Ads, as well as Apple search ad campaigns through the Apple advertising platform that you can run ads on, the Apple Store itself. After watching this video, if you want to know how to, on the specifics on setting up ads to run via Google Play, the Apple Store, the Apple App Store, you should watch those videos. You can go to my channel homepage, search for those, and that'll give you specifics, how to set the campaigns up, what to do, what not to do. What this video is going to do is give you the overall framework of understanding, is that ads right for you? If so, what kind of budget to devote towards it, and so forth. So with that said, mobile app advertising on the main platforms, you can do it through Google Ads and Apple search ads. Just to tell you up front, it's actually expensive to do for someone just starting out. If you have no revenue and you don't have any other business or other income source to feed or investor funds to feed the growth of the app initially, it's going to be probably too expensive. Now that said, everybody starts somewhere when they don't have investors and whatnot. And if you have a day job or you have a business that already makes money, you can divert like $10 a day, $100 a day in advertising to promote that app. That can already be enough to kickstart the whole process of building up your mobile app and company that revolves around your mobile app. Okay, it's all about how are you utilizing that budget to get the most out of it. The better you utilize it, the quicker you're going to grow that mobile app. So just to tell you up front, downloads via these two sources are going to be somewhere between $1 and $10 per download, depending on how competitive your niche is. If you're in a niche that has no competition, certainly you could be at $1 a download easily. However, if you're like a fitness app or anything like that that's super hyper competitive, that appeals to a mass audience, because naturally when you're talking about online marketing, the bigger the market, the harder it is to get into it, the more the customers are going to cost, because there's more players with bigger money throwing more money at it, because the prize is so much more bigger at the end of the day once you've actually built that company up, versus a small little niche app that at most 10,000 people can use or will be benefited by. And when you win your market, you dominated your market. Now you're making 50 grand a year. Then your downloads are going to be cheaper, because the big guys that are really good at marketing and have money aren't even going to touch that kind of niche market. So it actually is easier to win at ads because you're up against people that don't know anything about ads typically, and you're going up against people who don't have investor funds, because investor funds usually go to apps that have a large market size and potential for growth in the millions. So with that said, okay, now this may sound like not much money, $1 a download. Whoa, great, I can run ads. That said, the point of running a PPC campaign for your app is to create a scalable ad strategy that will then, you're not just dumping money into it per se. That money that you put into it generates money that then is able to have you spend more money on ads. So you start out at $10 a day, getting it to 20, then 40, and because that's the surest way to get to maximum penetration in your market, is to actually have the ads be profitable. That said, it is hard to generate more than $1 of in-app revenue per user. That doesn't sound like much, but if you have an app that is able to extract $1 of in-app revenue per user, you're crushing it. You did something totally remarkable, and you should be patting yourself on the back, because that's very, very hard to do. And it's not impossible, but you got to have some app that's really useful, keeps users on the app a long time, we're coming back a lot, and you have the prompts that prompt people to sign up or pay, very well optimized. And then with that, by the way, a lot of the times that getting over $1 per user of revenue, that dollar on average doesn't come in until that user's, for a year in advance, because you can get somebody to download that app and pay $5 a month. Well, let's say 1% of people to download the app will pay that $5. Well, then you got to keep that person on average, for their lifetime, which is for the next 12, 24 months, to get all that revenue out of them, to really extract the value out of the downloads that you're getting. So you put money into ads and you don't get the $1 of revenue per user until all those users that you paid for today have stayed at least 24 months into the future, which is why and how it gets hard to scale when you don't have investor funds to dump into it, because you can only grow it so quick, given that the money's only going to come in so quick. Most businesses have that issue as well, by the way. Very few businesses, you can get a customer right away and recycle it back into ads. Then you can use to get another customer tomorrow, and the next day you have even more ad spend, and you got to get the customer stay with you for a while. Then you're at break even. Then your profit comes 6 months plus down the road when you've successfully kept that customer, and then you can start putting that back in ad spend, which delays the time it takes to scale up an ad budget to a high level. So if you can get your app to generate $1 or more of in-app revenue, then you're good, because at that point in time, you can run your ads with the conversion tracking that you set up via the platforms itself. And I would recommend Apple search ads over Google app campaigns by far nowadays, because Google screwed up Google app campaigns. You used to be able to target in a very refined way there, whereas you can't do it anymore. Now it's more like automated. Google wants you to let them take charge of your budget, and as a result of that, it doesn't work very good. Whereas on Apple search ads, you can target your competitors' apps. If you have a fitness app, you can just wait for people to go search for that fitness app, have your ad show up there for that user. An app that already generates a good amount of revenue per visitor from those apps, you're getting a quality user to download your app, and that's what you do at the end of the day, and it doesn't get any more targeted than that. Or you can also, obviously, when somebody types in fitness apps, have your ad show up there as well, which is the other primary way that you promote an app on Apple search ads. And with the conversion tracking, you can feed in data about the users actually paying. They just changed this recently, where you can feed that data in, and you can see, okay, you paid $1 per download for people downloaded your app from the search results when they search for this specific competitor, but you got an average of $1.29 in-app revenue per download, which gives you a positive ROI on the traffic that you got, or the downloads you got from people typing in this specific competitor app. And you can stick with that one, whereas another one, you couldn't get it. And as you start to scale up your ad budget, you get revenue from your app. You're trying to put it back in ad spend. You can just put it in the places that actually work. And you basically just try. You spend $10, you find the $1 of it that worked, you scale up that part, you peel back the other part that didn't work, try a few different additional placements, and you keep doing that over and over again. So the really good results is getting the data fed in about how much you're making back into the account, so that you can understand how to make your investment pay higher and higher dividends for you all the time. And the more money you spend, the better you get at getting a higher and higher ROI from the ad spend you got, and of course, being able to find more placements that work. That's true for Google and Apple. So that said, okay, you will typically, because it's so damn hard to get $1 of in-app revenue from a user, what you're gonna be delayed. What you're gonna typically do, unless you're really good at making app, get engagement through your app, you're going to have to pay for your downloads. Those downloads are going to generate reviews. Those reviews are going to increase your rankings on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. And then those rankings are going to generate people who leave even more reviews, which then increase your rankings even more, and it creates a flywheel effect. So what you're doing at the beginning, if you're not able to generate that $1 per in-app, then you pay for users, understanding you only get an average of, like, let's say 10 cents per user that spend money in the app, but you can grow it organically. You're gonna lose money on the front end, paying for the first 1,000, 10,000 users, of which 10,000 users, 100 of them leave a review, because there's tricks to get people to leave reviews at a high rate on your app. I would look that up, because each review is going to get you a higher ranking. Those 100 users get you more reviews, and then you're going to now get, those 100 users are going to get you 100 reviews. Those 100 reviews are going to get you more organic rankings than you had before, therefore more organic traffic. And now you got more free traffic coming in that generates more users. And then those additional free users increase the amount of revenue. It ain't going to increase the amount of revenue per user, but it's going to increase the amount of revenue that you have coming in from your app. And so essentially what you're doing is when I say start focusing on a blended ROAS, you are going to look at total revenue from your app coming in versus your PPC ad budget that you have to spend. And what you want to ultimately do is find a ratio, whether I need $5 in sales for every $1 I spend on ads, or $8 in sales for every $1 I spend in ads. And then once you come up with that minimal acceptable ratio, then as your revenue grows by the organic traffic going up, then you're going to put more money back into ad spend, knowing the direct downloads you pay for through these platforms is not going to pay the bills of the cost of running the ads directly. It will pay when you factor in the spin-off effect that you get and benefit you get from running paid ads from the additional organic traffic you're going to get. And so respectively, and it gets easier as you go, because the higher the rankings you get, the easier it is to get even higher rankings, and the more effective just the additional rankings that you get will have a greater and greater effect on your organic traffic and downloads. So anyway, blended ROAS is going to look at total revenue in your company versus total ad spend. And you should find your break-even point where, if I at least get $1.50 of revenue for every $1 I spend on ads, I can scale this to the moon. And then it's just simply waiting around for enough time for the in-app revenue from the users you get to come in and the organic traffic you get to come in to where your revenue actually goes up. Then you're going to spend a little bit more on ads, and you can still use your ads to actually grow your company. You're just doing it in a more intelligent way, which is to understand that the ads that you run and the downloads you get from running the ads directly isn't going to necessarily pay the bills by itself. It's that plus the organic increase in downloads you're going to get as a result of having paid ads running, and the reviews you get, which then cause your organic rankings to go up. And so at the beginning, if you have a good app, you can actually maybe spend $50,000 in getting the first 50,000 users. Those 50,000 users are going to leave the first 500 reviews. That 500 reviews is already enough to get organic rankings, and you could stop the ads, and you could then, that you've already juiced the system enough where the rankings are good enough that bring in users that are going to leave reviews that are going to increase your rankings. And if your app is good, it should be able to grow from there on out. You could still grow it quicker by investing ad spend along with everything else, which I would still recommend you do, because there's, somebody can rip off your app and you got to move quick. And which is why people take investor funds, because they want to get to grow their app so quickly to outgrow the any potential competition. Because if you have a profitable app, someone will copy you. So anyway, with that said, that is the basic premise of everything you have to understand if you're going to run ads, want to run ads for your app and to grow your app. The reviews are really the end goal from running the ads, even though if you were good enough, you could get the ads, the users you get from the ads being, running the ads to pay for the cost of the ads, but it's really hard to do. And most people don't have an app that's good enough. But in the background, you should be tracking all your activity in Google Analytics 4 and tracking in-app revenue and figuring out how to split test, push notifications, and everything else you can do within that app to get the average revenue per user to go up, because that is going to make it that much easier to raise your ad spend quicker and just scale the whole business that you have that much quicker. So you want to be optimizing the app. You optimize the app, get a little bit more revenue per user, which allows you to spend more on ads. You spend more on ads, which allows you to iterate inside that app a little bit quicker, and then you just keep doing that over and over again. So I'll want to track in-app revenue via Google Analytics 4. I'm going to track my revenue that I'm generating from my users inside my ad accounts on Google and Apple, and use that data to improve our investment and getting it to get a download from a user that's more likely to turn into a high amount of revenue on an ongoing basis. So through optimizing the app itself for higher purchases and then optimizing the traffic for a higher quality user, you can optimize both of those ends there to get you to the end goal of dominating your little niche market that you're in, or big niche market that you're in, as soon as possible. So with all that said, that kind of tells you how to promote your app with paid ads. It's not, turning on an ad and you're going to right away, everything's going to happen for you automatically. Ads are going to grow your app quicker than what they're going to be able to do without that. And a lot of times it's going to take running paid ads to even get any minimum amount of reviews at all to get any kind of organic rankings that can then, increase your organic rankings organically, if you will. If you just think you're going to create an app and you're going to put it on the Google Play, the Apple App Store, and something's going to happen in a competitive market at the very least, nothing's going to happen. You got to be able to get the first users yourself, and it ain't going to work just to get, your friends to download it and review it and get 10 reviews. More than likely, anyway. You're going to have to get 500 reviews. And the best way to do that is just run targeted paid ads. People downloading the competitor's app already, like I talked about earlier. So if you have any questions about it, promoting an app, anything I covered here, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet and you want to be able to make millions of dollars running ads for your business, this is the channel you want to subscribe to already, as the information I'm sharing with you here comes from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad testing and strategy for dozens of ad accounts to give you the working information about what works and what doesn't work out there in the online ad world. So you should subscribe if you haven't already, because the information I promise you that you can find online about this topic doesn't get any better than what you're going to get on this channel, because it's coming from somebody actually practicing the trade. Furthermore, if you like the channel, you should also check out my blog. My blog you can find at guaranteeppc.com/blog. My blog has specific strategies that you can follow and copy and paste into your own ad accounts to get results for your own campaigns and for your own business that we use to guarantee results for our own clients. So if you like the channel, you'll certainly like that blog as well, so you should check it out as well. If you're looking for somebody to get you the results on your ad account and you don't have the time to do it physically yourself, this is what we do for clients. That is, we have an advertising agency here. We get results for our clients, and we do not charge fees until we get our clients' results in their campaigns, in addition to what they had before. That is raise in profitability. We're the only firm that offers anything like that, but we don't offer it to just any client. If you want to see if we can work together in that kind of capacity, you can reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I'd be happy to have a discussion with you about it. We also sell ad templates. If we've worked in your niche market before, and we've worked in over 100 niche markets in the last 10 years running this advertising firm, we can take the winning ads, landing pages, campaign templates that work for your niche market, sell them to you, of which we can tell you the results we're getting in your niche market already in a different geographic area that you're in. And by copying and pasting everything we have for that market into your account, get the same results we are. It saves you all the time, effort, money it took for us to figure out how to run an ad in the most successful way in your market already. If you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. We got people using these templates to start whole other businesses. If you want to get into e-commerce, you don't know anything about it, take our template to sell an item that we already know sells in country A, and you sell it in country B, and you have turned money basically with that, or it makes it as easy as possible at the very least. Or if you want to get into business something that's fairly passive, you can sell leads. Lots of people have used our templates just to sell leads already now. And because the template is so efficient at generating low-cost leads in a niche market, you have the hard part of that business figured out right from the get-go. Anyway, if you're interested in any of those other opportunities, you can also reach out to me at GaryandPPC.com. With that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.